Welcome to the deep dive. You know, everyone dreams of making their RC car super agile, right? Like really responsive, maybe even able to turn on a dime.
hmm
Well, today we're looking at how you might just do that with an absolute icon, the Tamiya ORV chassis. You know, the frog, the Blackfoot.
Ah, yes, classics.
Yeah.
But anyone who's owned one, they probably know its big weakness, the Achilles heel, really. That stock gearbox.
Oh, yeah.
It's famous, or maybe infamous, for what people call the click of death.
Mm.
And it's not just a little quirk, it's a pretty fundamental problem.
It sounds bad, and trust me, it is bad. You've got those soft, like pot metal gears, nylon parts, too.
And the gearbox plates themselves flex.
Right. That whole combination, especially under load, it
Yeah.
just leads to gears stripping out
That-
catastrophically.
Which basically means you can't push the car hard.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, forget about putting in a more powerful motor if it just hits a wall.
A hard wall, the performance is just capped.
Exactly. So our mission today really is to unpack how this one specific part, the MIP Super Ball differential, that's part number 16210, how it basically revolutionizes these old kits. It just bypasses all those stock issues.
Okay. And we're digging into an expert engineering breakdown for this, right?
Yeah.
To see the how and why.
That's the plan. Get into the technical details.
So if that click of death is the main villain here, how does the MIP diff actually solve that? Like, what makes it so much tougher?
Well, it really comes down to much better engineering and materials, just designed for strengths from the start.
Okay.
So the MIP unit, it swaps out all those weak stock bits for precision machine parts.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking hardened steel gears, aircraft-grade aluminum for the housing.
Where's better stuff?
Oh, yeah. And chrome steel bearings. But the really clever part, I think, is the design itself. It's self-contained.
Self-contained. How so?
All the forces, inside the differential, they're handled internally by this central diff screw. It means the diff action is totally independent of those flimsy stock gearbox plates.
Ah, okay, so the plates aren't taking the strain anymore.
Precisely. Which is why you can suddenly run, like, powerful brushless motors that would just instantly chew up the original gears.
Right, that makes sense. So it solves the durability issue, the bottleneck. But what about the handling? How does it actually make the car drive differently on the track? What's going on inside?
Yeah, that's where the magic really happens, I think.
Yeah.
The stock ORV setup uses what's called an open differential, standard stuff for many older RCs.
Okay.
So when you go into a corner, the weight shifts
Okay.
off the inside wheel. An open diff always sends power down the path of least resistance.
Yeah. To the wheel that's unloaded.
Exactly. To that spinning inside wheel that doesn't have much grip, so the car loses drive. It just wants to push forward. That's what we call on-power understeer.
Oh, I know that feeling. Just plowing straight when you want to turn. So frustrating.
You turn the wheel, hit the throttle, and just straight ahead.
So the MIP setup changes that fundamental behavior.
Completely. The MIP Ball Diff, it works like a limited slip differential, an LSD. It actually resists that difference in wheel speed.
Okay, so it doesn't just let that inside wheel spin freely.
Right. It forces power across to the outside wheel, the one that's loaded up and has all the grip.
Ah.
And that powered outside wheel then actively drives the rear end through the corner. It creates rotation, gets rid of that awful understeer.
So that's how you get that steer with the rear feeling people talk about.
That's exactly it. The car feels like it pivots exactly where you want it. You get that agile, turn on a dime feel we mentioned at the start.
That sounds like a massive improvement. But the sources also mentioned predictability and tuning options. It's not just the LSD action itself.
Right, yeah, beyond just redirecting the power. The MIP diff brings a level of consistency you just don't get with the stock setup. The power delivery is smooth, reliable. It makes the car's handling predictable.
Letting you push harder, presumably?
Yeah, with more confidence. And you can tune it. There's a central adjustment screw. If you tighten it up, you get more resistance to slip, more aggressive rotation when you get on the power. Great for, say, a high-grip carpet or asphalt.
But there's a catch.
Oh, yeah, be careful. Over-tighten it, and it basically locks the rear axle. Then you get massive understeer again because the wheels can't differentiate enough. One user called it undrivable, which sounds about right.
Haha, okay, so undrivable is the limit. Finding that sweet spot is crucial then. What about loosening it?
A looser setting lets the diff slip more easily. That's often better for low traction surfaces like loose dirt. Gives you a bit more stability, less aggressive rotation.
So you're balancing cornering freedom with enough lock to put power down.
Exactly. You want it loose enough to turn well, but tight enough so it doesn't make those barking sounds. It's the diff slipping too much when you accelerate hard or land a jump.
Gotcha. And one last thing mentioned was reduced rotational mass. How important is that?
It's subtle, but definitely noticeable. The MIP diff is designed to be lighter than the stock gear diff assembly, less rotating weight in the drivetrain.
And that feels like...
Quicker acceleration,
Yep.
the car feels snappier, more responsive to the throttle. The motor has less mass to spin up and slow down. It all adds to that nimble, on-a-dime character.
Okay, let's wrap this up then. For you, the listener, what we've seen is how this one part, the MIP Super Ball differential part, hashtag 16210, really does transform the Tamiya ORV chassis.
It gets rid of that click of death using, hardened steel, good aluminum, proper bearings, and it's self-contained, so you can finally run brushless power.
And crucially, that limited slip action tackles the stock car's biggest handling flaw, that on-power understeer. It lets you really use the throttle to help steer the car. True agility.
Yeah, and we touched on the predictability it brings, those tuning options, getting it tight for rotation, loosening it for stability, but avoiding that undrivable zone. Plus, that little bonus of less rotational weight for better snap.
So this whole deep dive, it really highlights how one well-thought-out engineering fix can just blow the old performance limits away. It's like the drivetrain isn't the weak link anymore.
Right. The limit shifts, doesn't it? It becomes more about your skill in tuning that diff just right and then actually controlling the much more capable car.
Makes you think, eh? What other potential bottlenecks are just sitting out there in other classic designs, just waiting for someone to come up with a similar kind of revolutionary fix?
Yeah. Something to ponder until our next deep dive.